Welcome to TLC for the Soul podcast, where soul meets spirit. You have entered into sacred space. I'm your host, Tammy Lynn Chambers, and I'm here to help you shine. Now let's get going on this podcast journey. Hello everyone, and welcome to the podcast. Today we have episode 2, or the second installment in our mini February workshop, Healing Thru Avalon. This is messages and inspiration and healing for the divine masculine. And this is the divine masculine within and without. So if you're wondering if this podcast is for you, if you are a divine feminine, then this work will help you align and unify with your divine masculine within. And if you are a divine masculine listening to this episode, welcome. Then these messages are especially potent for you. So before we begin, let's just get ourselves set up for this listening experience. We're going to be taking a journey today with the Mist Vamp in Chapter 3 of the Spirit Guides of Tessa Locke, working with the Glastonbury Tour and Uther Pendragon. Let's take a deep breath. So get yourself comfy. You choose your listening experience. My crinkly bottle of water. If you're new here, welcome. We are branching out all over the place now, and our newest podcast home is iHeartRadio. So if you're coming from iHeartRadio or Audible, I welcome you here. To all my returning listeners, wherever you may listen from, I welcome you back. Listening experiences. So you can choose if you're new or if you just kind of want to hear what's going on with the divine masculine, but you're not really interested in taking that any deeper. You just want the messages. Then, just choose that listening experience. If you want to take this work a little bit deeper in, then you'll want to listen for the messages and the metaphors and the underlying meanings, because at a high level, the Mist Vamp is just a story. It's just a story like any old other book or magazine I pick up. But all of the stories I write, the articles, this podcast itself is all channeled straight from source through the guides that step forward for each episode or each book and out onto the pages via like an automatic writing process through me, the conduit. So there's metaphors and hidden meanings, and the intention is always to support you for your best and highest good on your journey. So you can listen for the metaphors and the underlying meanings in the stories. And I do my best to point those out, but you may notice others as well that are, messages specifically for you. And the third way you can listen is to invite in your spirit guides, helpers, angels, deities, whoever you work with, to surround you now in divine love and divine light, as I wrap us all in a circle of the purest heart light, purest source light emanations, to receive messages, guidance, wisdom, healing, inspiration, from the guides that are overlighting this episode, as well as any personal guides that you acknowledge. Totems I have with me here today. I've got the spirit of red-tailed hawk. I have red-tailed hawk feather. And the ancestors are with us, the spirit of spider. I don't have a real spider, but I do have a little spider little thing from Halloween. It's like a spider ring. Spider ring. Also working with the labradorite stone. We are like a day before the new moon in Aquarius, if you're listening to this when it's recorded. And I'm going to light us a very masculine candle called Apple Wood and Amber. So let's light our candle. It's one of those crackly wood candles. The intention for this episode is to bring forth messages and information, guidance, wisdom, and healing for the divine masculine on your journey. I also have a scent. I don't usually bring my intention perfumes or oils or whatever onto the show, but this one wanted to come. This is a intention. I guess it's I don't know. It's an intention oil. It's a perfume made my beautiful soul sister and one of my very first spiritual teachers, Uther Pendragon at Sage Goddess. And this one is called Black Sage. It's one of the only ones I think she makes a couple for men, but this one is, I like to use this when I'm channeling the divine masculine. So we're going to put a little bit of Black Sage potion. I like calling it potion instead of perfume because they're made with intention. And if anything, Athena is a master potion maker. Got a little bit of Black Sage on. And I did bring some cards. I brought the music oracles. Kind of towards the end, we'll pull a card for the masculine. And if you're following these episodes sequentially, then we started out the beginning of the month talking about the February energies of self-love. We talked in the very first mini workshop series on the divine feminine of the divine masculine kind of needing to, get better at slowing down a little bit and bringing in some more of those divine feminine qualities of intuition and higher heart-centeredness. And the other day I wrote this next chapter of the Mist Vamp, and when I wrote it I was like, oh my gosh, I just feel like so I'm sharing with you now the qualities, not the qualities, but the feelings I was getting, and I am still getting from the divine masculine as I was preparing to record the podcast right now. So let me first read to you the lyrics of a song that was playing when I channeled this next chapter that I'm going to read to you next, because I thought it was very important. Everything that happens as part of the channeling is part of the channeling. So everything that happens during this podcast is meant to be heard during this podcast. And so the song that was playing when I was channeling the chapter with Uther Pendragon and the tour for the masculine, the song was also meant to be a part of this whole experience. So let me pull that up. So the song that came in while I was channeling was A Man I'll Never Be. It's a song by Boston. I'm just going to read the lyrics. We're going to kind of dive into those a little bit, and then we're going to read the Mist Vamp chapter to take you further in to understanding kind of where your focus might be. And this is a perfect and prime time to gain clarity, because clarity is coming forth for the masculine right now, and I'm here to help with the light language coming through my voice, the inflections, and just my soul signature are divine DNA activators for masculines and feminines. So sometimes just listening to me will open you up to more clarity, an inner truth that needs to come out. It's just part of the spiritual gifts of how I do my work. So, a man I'll never be. If I said what's on my mind, you'd turn and walk away, disappearing way back in your dreams. It's so hard to be unkind, so easy just to say, that everything is just the way it seems. You look up at me, and somewhere in your mind you see a man I'll never be. If only I could find a way. I feel like I'm the man you believe I am, and it gets harder every day for me to hide behind this dream you see, a man I'll never be. I can't get any stronger. I can't climb any higher. You'll never know just how hard I've tried. Cry a little longer and hold a little tighter. Emotions can't be satisfied. You look up at me, and somewhere in your mind you see a man I'll never be. And then it just repeats itself again. So I feel like, just like the feminine for the masculines on this journey, we're just at a point now in February where it's kind of like, okay, I'm doing the best I can. I've tried doing what I need to do, and the feeling is I can't get any stronger and I can't climb any higher. You'll never know just how hard I've tried. Cry a little longer, hold a little tighter. Emotions can't be satisfied. So as I was sitting down, that was several days ago, I did that. And then as I was, just before I get ready to, get on the podcast, I'm channeling the masculine, and I start to feel like really kind of frustrated and on the verge of being a little angry about where I'm at right now on my journey, and just feeling like, where are the brakes, man? Like, when is something going to shift for me on this journey? Because I've been doing this a long time. Like, a lot of you listening have been doing this a long time, and it's not just men. So women, divine feminines, your masculine side is saying, like, you've been working really hard. So that's the masculine, right? The masculine is the output. The feminine to me is like the input, receiving the insights, the intuition, the heartfelt feelings of, wanting to do something. And then to me, the masculine is the output, the passion, the drive, the forging ahead, the getting things done is all masculine energy and fire and passion. And so I just feel like from both perspectives, it's like, I just can't climb any higher, just can't do any more. Like, what else do I need to be done? What else needs to be done? Emotions can't be satisfied. Like, I want what I want it now. I get this feeling of impatience, and it just feels like it's not here yet. If only I could find a way, I'd feel like I'm the man you believe I am, and it gets harder every day for me to hide behind this dream you see. So much going on there. I think there's some undue pressure on the masculine right now, especially those that are either in a divine counterpart union, or those that know that their divine, their twin, their divine feminine is out there somewhere. I feel like there's this pressure that's being put both internally and externally on the masculine to kind of level up. And I think this came out too in an episode. It was kind of like, well, just pull yourself together and let's get going. Like, there was like some energetic tough love. And I get the feeling like there's this ego stuff coming up for the masculine. Like, I'll never be that man you want me to be. And that same message came up yesterday. I was watching, it's probably more for teenagers, but I like young adult stuff. But it was Dash and Lily on Netflix, like a story of like a teenage guy and girl who kind of find each other over the Christmas holidays. But one of the parts of the episode, they write to each other like in this journal, is how they meet, through a journal of their writings to each other before they ever meet face to face. And one of the things they kind of find out towards the end, after kind of some things happen and they feel like, well, maybe we're not meant to be together, it was kind of like, you'll never be the woman in my head and I'll never be the man in your head. Kind of like we've put people up on pedestals to where they feel like they can never live up to that version of themselves. So I feel that internally, like, we're sometimes putting ourselves, we're expecting too much of ourselves too soon is what's being said. And we have to cut ourselves a little bit of slack. Like, it's all coming. It's all coming. What you want is seeking you. What you seek is seeking you. It's all going to come in divine order. And there doesn't need to be this like undue pressure upon yourself to move faster than you're meant to. I also feel that for divine feminines who are seeking a divine masculine, but have been told by, outside sources or by their own inner guidance, like, it's not time yet, you've got more work to do. And you're just putting this pressure on yourself to like hurry it up and make it happen now. And it's like, maybe you're just not ready yet for this. Like, it's not like it's not going to happen. And it's not for me to say when it is going to happen, but let's take some pressure off of ourselves for that, and some pressure off of ourselves to be perfection. So masculines, like, just be you. I think, yes, this was, I recorded this on Instagram now, like 2 days ago. I think it was like, just be you. Just do you. That's all you need to do. You don't have to be somebody you're not. You don't have to be this person you are a person on a pedestal. Like in spiritual truth, you're on a pedestal. Like you are a divine masculine, or you're a divine feminine channeling their divine masculine. You're already up there on a pedestal in spiritual truth. But you don't have to put pressure on yourself in the 3D world, physical world, to be more than you're capable of being at the moment. Like maybe there's, something physically that's, keeping you from doing everything you want to do. Maybe there's something emotionally that you're healing right now. And so you're just not able to move forward with an offer to your feminine, or feminine, you're just not able to move forward and do something you've been wanting to do right now because you're still healing. And right now we are in a void space. So that came through very clearly this morning for me. I had to do a little bit of energetic turning myself around from slipping into some feelings of like, no, this is never going to happen. Believe me, I've been doing the work like every day. I've been going in really deep this past week in the root chakra and clearing out a lot of fears of disbelief and self-doubt and, oh, it's not meant for me and it's too good to be true. Like all of those things, clearing those out. And I think that's what we're going to work on at the end of this episode. Is a little bit of clearing for you there, but doesn't stop with one episode of clearing. Like it's something you have to really, if that healing that we're going to do speaks to you, then you have to do it like every day for 7 days, or you have to develop a habit, just like brushing your teeth or going to the bathroom, like spiritual cleansing, healing your energy patterns and striving to go higher is something that is worth the effort. So even in the song where it's like, well, I can't go any higher, it's like, oh, yes, you can. So in that song, it was almost like kind of, depressing. Like, I can't do any more. I can't go any higher. I can't get any better. This is my like I'm at a plateau. And Spirit's here now they're stepping in, because first we did want to acknowledge, like, here's where I'm at. It's okay to be there. But at some point, you've got to pick yourself up, dust yourself off a little bit and say, I can go higher. I can do more. I can be better version of myself. I can strive to be all that I know I can be in this lifetime. If you want to do that, you don't have to do that. Like, you can stay exactly where you're at. But I keep affirming to myself, like, I want to go higher. I want to ascend more. I want to keep going. I want to keep going up, bigger, expanding. I don't want to stay stuck in a rut, same old. Like, I like change. I like things to evolve. I don't want to be doing the same thing every day for 45 years. It's like, please get me out of that wheel. So if you want to, then this is your kind of energetic wake-up call. Like, yes, you can. You are the creator. You are the co-creator of your reality. You invoke and decree things and intend things. And then you are given the divine guidance. You're shown the steps, the way, the things that you could do to make things happen. And then it's up to you, divine masculine. So the masculine energy, be it you a feminine or masculine, it's up to you to use that masculine energy of purpose and drive and alchemy and magic to get things done by taking action. Got to take action for things to happen. unions are coming this year. We've been talking about that, and that's going to be the last episode in this podcast about divine union within and without. And so these little episodes, these podcast episodes, everything you're hearing from others, way showers that you're drawn to listen to, is all leading to union. So Hieros Gamos, the sacred marriage within. So that's the unification of the divine masculine and the divine feminine within. And if you so choose and want that, then you're also calling in union with the divine masculine or divine feminine in the outer world, in the 3D world. It's a 3D representation of the divine masculine, divine feminine union within yourself. Let's go ahead and read the 3rd chapter of Mist Vamp to see what happens here. This is from first we had Jenna Lee. She went to Avalon, and she met Merlin. She's kind of hanging out there right now. And then we stepped away from that for a minute. And we're moving to chapter 3 called Wicked Ways. And I wrote here, the song playing during the writing of this was Boston, the Man I'll Never Be. So just close your eyes or just listen, because this is where more metaphors and meanings and messages might pop up for you. As Jenna and Merlin bonded over mugwort tea, the Mist Vamp, blown about by westerly winds, made his way back to the Tor. Rutger O'Malley was just finishing his shift at the Drunken Spoon Tavern. He headed outside into the snow that had fallen that morning and looked up at the Tor. Good day for a climb, he thought, to no one in particular. He just said goodbye to his longest relationship ever. 5 months with Candy Levert was more than he could stand. He didn't think she was the one. At least not for him. A strange mist enshrouded him, and he went home and changed into his hiking clothes. Strangely, the mist was still around his home when he came back outside. It followed him and gave him a gentle nudge in the direction of the Tor. It's a long climb, Rutger thought, but what the heck? He readied himself, and as he started to make the climb up, strange whispers could be heard in the wind. Go this way. Now go that way. And he followed, more curious. What was this all about? Did he believe in magic? Well, sometimes, but right now he was feeling less than magical. He felt lightheaded, like he needed to sleep, but he willed himself onwards and upwards. He had to persevere. He made his way to the top and stood marveling at the view. He took a sip of hot tea he had packed in his canister and pulled a sandwich out of his backpack. He was hungry. Full of pastrami and rye and feeling sleepier, he lay back on the lawn. He heard footsteps and felt a hand on his shoulder. Get up, lad, the voice of Uther Pendragon commanded. We've got work to do. What the heck, Rutger thought to himself. But he felt compelled to rise. I brought around your horse, Edgar said with a chagrin. You should take better care of falling asleep out here like this, he said to the younger Rutger. Yes, sire, Rutger heard himself say. What kind of weird dream is this, he thought to himself, the astrals playing tricks with his mind. We've only got a little more time before we have to meet the Arthur, Uther said, patting the back of the horse that he held out to Rutger. Rutger got up on the sleek stallion and felt himself encased in heavy armor. The ladies will be waiting, Uther said, glad to be seeing his one true love again. The battle had been long and arduous, and he was going home for a few days. Word had been sent ahead, and his queen was to be there waiting for his return. Rutger felt so weird. Where was he, and where was he going? Who was this man? His lord and higher-ranking countryman, Uther Pendragon, wasn't sure about this knight. He could be a little ungrounded at times, but he was his best fighter. The 2 knights, one older and one more experienced, and the other clearly having some sort of astral travel journey, shooed their horses forward. This time he would see this woman, but not before he woke up from this stupid dream. So weird of a story, right? Like, what? But when I read the lyrics, so I finished that, and then I went to the lyrics of the Boston song, and I was like, okay, this is very, very much what I'm getting here in this story. This guy, Rutger, just came from a breakup, like he's not sure what he's doing. He's being guided to, here's the guidance coming, here's the message, he's being guided to get outside and seek clarity through going in nature, relaxing, slowing down, listening to the messages that are coming in within and around you. His karmic relationship that he just finished, like he's very clear that that's ended now. So if any of you have just ended a relationship where you know that was not the one, it's time to cut those cords and put that relationship to rest so that you can move forward when you're ready to find your quote-unquote chosen one, your one. It's a long climb, Rutger thought, but what the heck? We just heard earlier, I can't climb any higher, I can't go any farther, but here he is. The Mist Vamp has come to help him along. So Mist Vamp, if you haven't heard the past couple of readings about the Mist Vamp, is a spirit guide we're working with this month. Comes in the form of mist and fog. You can work with that spirit guide if you just want to call them in, but he helps protect you as you go within and kind of seek answers and clarity from your higher self and your guides. But the Mist Vamp and the mist and the spirits working with him willed him onwards and upwards, and he had to persevere. And in this case, guides are here to support you. So we already had Red-tailed Hawk come forward for this episode for the masculine. So if that speaks to you, you can look that up and you'll come across whatever meaning is most meant for you. You know, I won't point you to a specific one. Like, Spirit will show you the content that is most needed by you. The ancestors are here to support the masculine within and without. Many ancestors that I've experienced or, looked at their energy or just known from my own personal ancestral history, many ancestors did not have very loving, caring, healthy relationships with a partner. Divine masculine, divine feminine. And I just feel like the ancestors are like here cheering us on, like, you can do this. You can find divine love within yourself. You can come into union with yourself. You can learn to love yourself through self-love and self-care, not working yourself to the bone, not, really giving everything you've got beyond what you could even possibly give, just feeling like you can't go any further, which is some of the energy that came through from that Boston song. Like, I've just given it all. I just can't give anymore. I think through past lives, many of us led past lives where we just worked ourselves to the bone, and we're still like bone tired now. Like, it just carries, some of those echoes of energy carry forward from lifetime to lifetime. And you either may, if you don't believe in past lives, you may be feeling the energetic echoes of your ancestors, like they're just so darn tired, like they just worked themselves to death. And still they felt like they just, didn't get to exactly where they thought they could be in their lifetime. And many of them have needed a timeout, like they didn't reincarnate right away because they're up there in the, in the angelic realms and stuff, like recuperating from the hard lifetimes they had, before they transitioned. And if you do believe in past lives, then believe me, there are days when I'm just like, I am just so tired, I just can't take it anymore. And I'm like, where is this coming from? Like in this lifetime, I feel like, in the past couple of years, I've gotten a lot of good rest and self-love and healing that I've done on myself, inner healing and outer healing. And I'm like, where is this feeling of just like deep despair and tiredness coming from? And then I, thought back to the past lives that I have come up for me that I've been doing healing on, or that I've been made aware of through my Akash. And it's like some of those I just like, again, worked myself to the bone, and I'm just so damn tired. Like I never recovered from that really fully. So it's time now, this lifetime, all of those things, the recovery, the healing, the clearing your heart space, having a beautiful self-loving relationship with yourself where you don't talk mean to yourself, and you don't put yourself down, and you love yourself like you would love anybody else you loved that was exterior to you. Like that's a big possibility now if you choose to do the work. And there's so much abundant plethora of help out there, whether you want help in the 3D world or whether you just go onto YouTube and look for videos to help you, or books or whatever. Like there's just more than there was even 3 or 4 years ago. It's just booming with self-help stuff. Just choose what resonates with you. Ask your angels or your guides to bring you someone, and they will. Like watch your YouTube feed, watch your social media feed, watch books or things you run across, or things that start coming up for you. Like you're going to get the answers. You just have to slow down and notice that they're coming and they are meant for you. I posted this on Instagram yesterday. I'm like, the hits, that your intuitive hits that you're getting, the clarity that you're receiving, it is meant for you. Why would it be meant for everybody else and not for you? Like it just doesn't make any. That's just another way of the ego, like kind of slapping you around, like not being nice to you. Like why wouldn't all these good things be meant for you? It just makes no logical sense. Like it's for everybody else, but it's not for you. That's total BS. That's bullshit. So, but you've got to do the work to realize you're worthy of that. And a lot of it really does start, I must say, it starts in the root chakra. I did not believe it necessarily until I did this 7-day workshop that I did for the root chakra and started clearing out like the stuff that's been stuck in there for a really long time. And every day the bandwidth of my root chakra got bigger and bigger until, I feel like I've done a lot of clearing work there now. I feel better about it now. I feel stronger about, some of this stuff. I'm not just saying it just to say it without believing it inside. Rutger got up on the sleek stallion and felt himself encased in heavy armor. The ladies will be waiting, Uther said, glad to be seeing his one true love again. The battle had been long and arduous, and he was going home for a few days. Word had been sent ahead, and his queen was there waiting for his return. Rutger felt so weird. Where was he going? Where was he? Where was he going? And who was this man? So there are many guides stepping in to support them now, if you'll allow it. Like your angels and your guides are not going to help you. They will, but you have to ask for their support and their help. Because of free will choice, they won't just step in and help you unless you're like in grave danger. And then at that point, it's their angelic duty to step in and assist. If that's part of your soul contract. Like sometimes you're in grave danger and it's just your soul's time to transition, and that's just how it happens. Like there's many factors at play, but guides are stepping forward. In this case, there's a knight. Here's Uther Pendragon, very powerful king and countryman and knight of the Holy Empire back in the days of Avalon. Rutger's divinely protected in this case too. He's being encased in heavy armor. Now I don't know about the heavy part of it, but the armor, like if you are taking on too much energy from the outside world, if you're a divine masculine who's a very sensitive soul, I know many of you are, and if you're a divine feminine and you're trying to balance your divine masculine and your divine feminine, the suggestion is being brought up to look for a masculine spirit guide. So I think so often the divine feminines just choose to work with divine feminine spirit guides. And so we beef up the divine feminine within us, and the divine masculine just kind of is there, somewhat underdeveloped. And it has been helpful for for me, just sharing my own personal process, to work with divine masculine guides, very strong masculine guides, to help balance out the feminine. And I have been drawn to, and it's because of the warrior spirit in me, like been drawn to like warrior spirit type masculine guides. So if you are a divine feminine working on balancing and coming into unity with your inner masculine, then I would invite you to also call in a divine masculine spirit guide, and not necessarily an angel. I'm talking about more of yes, Archangel Michael. Everyone goes to Archangel Michael, and he is fine and beautiful and one of my best friends. But I'm talking about like more of no, don't say it like that. Not an earthbound spirit, because that's not what we want. Cancel, clear, delete that. We want more of like an earth guardian type of warrior spirit when I say a masculine guide, like call in Arthur or call in Merlin, who definitely is like tough love. Call in a knight of the round table. Like go research the knights of the round table and pick one that speaks to you, and call in a knight to work with. Call in, the things are endless, but I mean, call in a divine masculine spirit guide to work with you. If you want to balance that out with an angelic presence as well too, like call in Archangel Michael, call in whoever you want. You can call in whoever you want, basically. If you call, they're going to come. But they're just suggesting like a more earthly based masculine guide. I've got gnomes, leprechauns, like if you need a guide. We've got the Mist Vamp. He's a masculine guide, although he's a little bit more on the cups side of things, on the water side. And you probably are looking at this point for more of like a fire or earth elemental guide. Elves were coming up a lot earlier when I went to indigenous tribes people. Okay, if I start to think about them, they're all going to start coming in. So I'm going to let you find your own. But really, I feel like right now I'm surrounded by like all this, like warrior spirit, like male energy. It's getting all manly here up here in my room, in my studio. All right, we're going on 36 minutes. So what I want to do next is pull a card, and then we're going to do some light language for the divine masculine. I got to take a drink of water first. I'm also asking the guides that have joined me here if there's any other messages to share. Okay, they're saying not at this time, so we're going to shuffle the cards. Message for the divine masculine. What does he need to know? What do you divine masculines? What do you guys need to know? Oh, I got 2 cards. Oh my God. Why? All right, I got 2 cards and they're both women. So I don't have any decks that are masculine, just specifically masculine decks, but it's very interesting who we got. So we got Cher and Ella Fitzgerald, but maybe it's the messages. Let me see. Because to me, in this picture of Cher, like you'd have to look up the musician oracle deck. What the heck, Tammy? The music oracle deck to see the picture. But Cher in this almost reminds me of like Gene Simmons from Kiss or Paul Stanley from Kiss. Like she's got a leather jacket on. It's like a young Cher. Nothing becomes a legend more than not giving a damn. Bad taste trumps no taste any day, and lovers come and lovers go, but sequins are forever. Oh, interesting. I remember this outfit she used to wear too. It was very weird. So, hold on. But she looks very masculine in this card. She reminds me of like an 80s hairband person. Like a guy from an 80s hairband, kind of androgynous in a way, like right? Okay, this is going somewhere. This is like the balancing of the feminine and the masculine. It is, because she's obviously Cher. She's very beautiful, but she to me had a very masculine energy about her. When I would watch her, even as a little girl, when I would watch her, the Sonny and Cher show or whatever, she always seemed to be the masculine part of the duo. And Sunny, to me, always seemed to be more of the feminine part of the duo. She's got a very masculine spirit, and she had, I think, indigenous ancestry as well. Lovers come and lovers go. Sequins are forever. Bad taste trumps no taste any day. And nothing becomes a legend more than not giving a damn. Yeah, like, if you're a masculine who embodies more of the feminine, if you're a feminine who embodies more of the masculine, like, who cares what people think? I think that's a message that's coming out that hasn't come up yet. It's like, who cares what people think? It goes back to the you be you. Just you be you. You do you. And you're going to find unity within yourself. You're going to find, if you want it, like union with a divine counterpart externally. Just do you. Ella Fitzgerald. Now in this card, she's like an older Ella Fitzgerald. You are your own best teacher. Nothing is more hard won than innocence, and intuition beats experience. So this, to me, is almost like, when I look at this card, it almost is like messages coming from like your mom or something. So to me, this is the ancestor spirit stepping in. She has this huge pearl necklace on too. What is that song? I'm not even going to go there. Okay, the guides are getting a little freaky. They're bringing up Pearl Necklace from ZZ Top, and I'm not even going to go there. You guys can look up the lyrics and the meaning of that song. She's looking a little sassy in this card. I think we're getting a little bit, okay, what's going on here? We're getting some playful energy coming in from the guides. Well, they're getting a little 18 plus on me too, so to be careful here. But you are your own best teacher. Intuition beats experience. We talked about intuition. Yeah, what's up with that? We talked about intuition coming through from the masculine, coming through for the masculine in the feminine episode, like tapping into your intuition a little bit more to balance out, some of that fire and desire that's coming through. Like, I'm really getting some Kundalini. I think there's a lot of Kundalini stuff going on for the masculine. Every time I tap, and it's not just sexual energy. I mean, that's a part of it. But I get a feeling like for a group of masculines out there, there's this big Kundalini awakening, and it's not the first one. It's like your second Kundalini awakening's coming. The other thing that comes up with this too, and I don't know why it's on such a motherly looking card. Like, I don't know where that's coming from. Why are you here? Is whenever you think of your divine counterpart, you're going to feel your Kundalini activate. And I think that's one way to know that it's your twin. So there is a sexual energy that activates, within the sacral, like whenever you find someone attractive, but it's a totally different kind of activation when your Kundalini activates, because it's your divine counterpart. And you kind of have to understand the difference between the two. So you have to be a little bit more advanced in your spiritual learnings, in your spiritual knowledge, and in your intuition beats experience, to know the difference between your Kundalini being active and just like a lust vibration coming from the sacral chakra. And I think that's where this intuition beats experience is coming from. Experience, to me, is the whole pearl necklace kind of a, wham bam, thank you ma'am kind of experience. And the intuition is more like, oh, my Kundalini's activated around this person. It's the tsunami we talk about in, what is the thing? What is my story? I can't even think of it. In Tamara and Jameson, the tsunami that happens when you think about your divine counterpart. I'm just going to leave it at that. Extra messages. So because we're going on 43 minutes now, I don't know how long people like to sit around and listen to these things, but really you're guided to get outside and get some clarity in nature. So I'm going to bring forward some warrior spirit light language. This is a little bit more to like get you. This is really what it is the Navajo Windtalkers, and they're giving me a battle cry. So usually when the Windtalkers come in, they're doing heart. Oh, I'm getting chills. They do heart cleansing a lot, and a lot of what I feel and see when I do that light language is just when fallen warriors in our native tribes or indigenous tribes like didn't come home from battle. And I'm getting the whole grief tending side of things. But this one coming through is a battle cry. So this is kind of like, you know, I don't know enough about them to speak to the correct ones, but like when they're kind of on a warrior path and they're getting ready to go and they're, you know, putting on their war paint and they're, you know, they're arming themselves with spiritual energy and spiritual fire and power to go out there and do battle. And of course, there's no like physical battle. Hopefully there's not now, but it's kind of an internal battle. So helping you battle, you know, those inner demons of the ego and so forth. This is feminine and masculine, helping you to battle, bringing your divine masculine, raising the fire within, raising that Kundalini fire, like getting it active, getting ready to go, getting motivated, getting passionate, whether it's about a project you've got to do, a person you want to call in, your life in general. So let's take a deep breath. Whew, all right. To adjust my seating position here. Ow. Okay. All right, here we go. Hey, 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 hey. Okay, they're giving me throat chakra clearing. So we got to clear the throat chakra. I didn't want to cough into the microphone. So this is going to clear out the throat chakra too. Hey, 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 Take a deep breath. Ooh, okay. That's a lot. So if you didn't feel that, we rose all the way from the root. I activated the Kundalini for you, and we went all the way up through all the chakras and through the crown at the end. So if you want to listen to that again, you can go in about, I guess it was 45 minutes or so, and do that little light language as much as you want. So the guys that are here are saying they're complete. The message that needed to be shared has been shared with everybody that needs to hear it. So next time we come back, the next episode of the podcast will be the second chapter of Jameson coming out over the weekend, this weekend. And then next week we'll be doing the third installment of this mini workshop about coming into divine union with your counterpart within and without. I want to thank you so much for joining me here in this podcast episode, and we will see you again next time. Take care. Thank you for listening to this podcast. It has been brought to you by the Bringers of the Light, an etheric group of higher light beings focused on service to Gaia, humanity, and the self as it pertains to the spiritual journey. So they are here to support you on your path to love and to working with others. Thank you so much for joining us. Take care.